Hi, this is Ann from Duct Tape and Denim. This week we're finishing up our thrift store tray makeovers from last week. That video was just getting way too long, so I decided to split it up. We did 2 last week, we're going to do 3 more trays today. But I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go back and watch the first one. The first tray that I'm going to work on this week is one that a friend gave me. It looks like a frame, but it already had handles and feet, so I'm just going to assume it was a tray. It did have a few issues. It looks like somebody had started working on one of the corners and another corner had a large separation in it. My first idea was to stencil or add a vinyl design to the glass part, but since this is going to go in our booth, I wanted to keep it neutral so more people would like it. The handles came off pretty easily with a small Phillips screwdriver. I put the handles and the screws into a cup so I wouldn't lose them. Here's the corner I mentioned. There was a gap, but it still felt sturdy, so I decided to just fill it instead of taking the whole thing apart and rebuilding it. I filled it with Minwax stainable wood filler, and as you can tell, we've had this for a while, and I think it's getting a little stiff. I just squeezed some out and pushed it into the crack with my fingers. I let the wood filler dry and sanded all the wood with a 100 grit sanding sponge. Then I started painting. I used Deco Art chalky finish paint for this. The color is called Everlasting. It's just a bright white. When the paint was completely dry, I brushed on some glaze. This is Dixie Belle's Van Dyke Brown, so the color is already mixed up. I just brushed it on and wiped it off one side at a time. I've mentioned before that I don't tape off the glass on frames or mirrors anymore. That just takes too much time and I always have to go back and clean it up again anyway. So now I just wait until the paint dries completely and then I scrape it off with a razor blade. It saves a lot of time and tape. Then I put the handles back on and it's finished. What do you think? Tray number 4 came from an estate sale last month. I'll leave a link to that video in the comments below too. I paid $1 for it. It originally came from Hobby Lobby. It was super dirty when I found it, and after cleaning it up, I thought about just sticking it in the booth the way it was, but it did have a few scratches that I wanted to distract from. When I shared this in my haul on my Facebook page, I asked my followers what they thought I should do. Several recommended dry brushing, so I gave it a try. I'm using the Everlasting chalky finish paint from Deco Art again. The key to dry brushing is literally to keep your brush dry. So start with less paint than you think you need, and you can always add another layer later. I barely touched the paint with the tip of my brush, and even after that I dabbed it onto a paper towel. Then I just lightly brushed the tip over the tray. I didn't get a video of this, but when the paint was dry, I did spray it with a couple of coats of polyurethane. Tray number 5 was a really unique wood tray that I got from a thrift store. I don't remember what I paid for it, but it wasn't very much, maybe just $1 or $2. I thought about white for this one too, but with its modern design, I decided to go completely opposite and I painted it black instead. I used Deco Art Chalky Finish paint in carbon. On their website, it looks like this color has been discontinued, but it's just a basic black. Here's what it looked like after one coat. It obviously needs another coat. So I came back and gave it another coat, same paint. This paint dries really quick, especially when it's hot and dry like it's been here, so this was only about 30 minutes later. When that second coat was completely dry, I went over all the edges with a little piece of 220 grit sandpaper. I just wanted a tiny bit of distressing just to show the shapes on the tray. Then I took the tray and my spray polyurethane outside, and this does need to be done outside. It's going to be stinky and you're going to have overspray. I sprayed a couple of coats with big back and forth motions. This design was a little different. It's more modern and masculine, and I thought it would be a great place to keep your keys and empty out your pockets at the end of the day, maybe on a dresser or an entry table. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment and let me know which tray makeover was your favorite, and you can include the ones from last week's video too if you liked those better than this week. Please subscribe and click the bell so you'll be notified when we have a new video up. Thanks!